right, welcome back to another episode of the Karter Cast. I'm your host, Karter Baughan. With me, as always, Dylan, Connor. Let's just get right to it. Dylan, champs. Michigan,
we did it.
Man. Yeah, it's all you. It's all you. Take the floor.
Yeah, I'm going to start out talking about how happy I am. I told you guys before the show, like, it makes it so much sweeter thinking about all of the times that Michigan was so bad. And Ohio, as much as I hate Ohio State fans don't have that. Right? Their lows were 2011 when Luke Fickell steps in, and that was the last time that Michigan had beat them since 2021. So the fact that what comes to mind is the double overtime game against Army in 2019, 2020 season where we sucked. I had to sit through and watch John O'Korn play quarterback, Shea Patterson, Dylan Peters. There's another guy I'm thinking of, Tate Forcier, when I was in elementary school. Like, we had all of these really bad moments. The not kick six, I'm blanking on what it's called. The Michigan State, where they blocked the punt, where they returned the punt. Like, all of these awful moments, for it to culminate into a national championship. I said it on the preview. If I could get a Michigan national championship, that's all I need. I'm set for a while now, because it's just, you put so much heart and soul into it. And college football is a sport where it just feels like college basketball, 64 teams get in, right? So you win your conference, you're in. We have all these scenarios. College football right now, your window is so small. If you can't make that top four, you drop one game, you're done. The fact we were able to put together 15 great games and win a national championship, it is one of the best feelings I've ever experienced. Probably number three all time.
Number three. What's two?
Number three. Number one, day I got married. Number two, day I got engaged. Number three, this. Number four, graduating from Ohio State. And number five, probably when I met Abby. So it's up there.
Oh, that's a good top five.
The engaged day. That's okay. All right.
That was a good day.
I don't think that makes my top two. In my defense, it was negative 15 degrees, and I proposed outside. So, like,
ooh,
it was awful.
Yeah,
that has to be taken into account. Dylan, were you sweating more during the engagement or during the game last night?
Oh,
what made you more nervous?
Completely honest, engagement. Like, my stomach was in shambles the hours leading up to it. I was crying. I was a mess. I'm soft. Believe it or not, I come on here and I yell and I act all tough and, screw the Pac-12, screw Ohio State fans, screw the Eagles. I'm a softie, guys. The Fault in Our Stars, when it came out, oh my gosh. It was tear fest. It was tear fest in Brookville, Ohio.
When the Barbie album was number one on the Spotify Wrapped, I kind of get that vibe, if we're being honest, Dylan.
I want to push you around.
Oh,
well, I will.
All right, stop. Yeah, I got yelled at the other night because I don't cry during movies.
You got yelled at for that?
I've never cried during a movie.
Oh, so
really?
You guys weren't watching a movie and she got upset.
We were watching. Well, the closest I've ever been is Schindler's List.
Okay.
God.
Not like Marley and Me.
Hold up. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we were watching Schindler's List, and yeah, I mean that's easily the closest I've been, probably. But like, no, I don't cry during movies.
Wow.
I've heard the new one out right now is like Band of Brothers, and everybody's like, all the guys that go see it like leave and like start crying and like want to call their brother or whatever. Like, it's like a big thing. Like, all these guys are like, this is the only movie that's ever made me feel anything.
Are you talking
so
about
I gotta see it. Is it? I thought it was called. I think there's one called Band of Brothers, isn't there?
That's a show.
You're lying.
100%. No, it's Iron Claw.
Oh, I've heard a lot about Iron Claw.
Oh, it is Iron Claw. I don't know why I wrote down Band of Brothers. You're right. That's on me.
Yeah, no.
That's the one about like based on like the true story.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking of. I don't know why I had Band of Brothers in my head. Yeah, Iron Claw. That's the one that just came out.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know how we
I gotta check that out.
You didn't cry last night, did you, Dylan?
No, I didn't. And I told Abby, I was like, one of the big things going into this was I can watch it with you. I don't want to go anywhere and watch it. I don't want to invite anybody over. Like, this is a big game. I don't know how I'm going to react. I expected to cry, and Abby expected me to cry. But I think the way the game finished, it didn't come down to a last play. The game was really decided with 3 or 4 minutes left. Once Sanders still had that interception, you knew the game was over, and there was like a cheer when he intercepted it. But then it was kind of like it took away from the big climax of the game, and it just kind of was falling action after that interception. So no tears here, but I mean thrilled. And then there's tons. And we want to talk about Ohio State announcing their transfer right after we win our national championship, boys. That's the difference between our two schools, Michigan and Ohio State. Our national championships are played on the field. They're played in Houston. They're played in Pasadena. Their national championships are played on 247sports.com. That's what Ohio State has to look for, is the recruiting website.
I'm a big 247 sports guy, though.
I love him. Shout out Stenko. That's Stenko, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love the work they do there. What was the little Palooza thing they did?
Transfer Palooza.
Transfer Palooza. Yeah, transfer. Yeah. I love that stuff. But the fact of the matter is, that's where Ohio State plays their national championships. It's not played on the field. It's not played in Ann Arbor. It's not played in Ohio State. That's what this has come down to. It's embarrassing stuff. And when I saw that come across my timeline, I was like, there is no shot that Ryan Day and Ohio State is resorting to this right now. It shows you how low that program has gotten. But anyways, and we can talk about Michigan. You want to talk about Michigan State? You want to talk about Michigan State?
Absolutely not.
Well, okay, all right. Let's just say we saved Michigan football because Washington embarrassed Michigan State. And then you know how you guys have little brothers?
No,
I do.
Yep. You know how it's like you can make fun of your little brother, but if someone else comes along and makes fun of your little brother, like that doesn't slide.
Right.
Michigan State gets waxed by Washington in September, and then Michigan has to come in and say, "Hey, our little puny little baby brother, you're not going to do that to him. We're going to come in and we're going to avenge our little baby puny brother," and we wax Washington on a national scale. And yet Michigan State's the ones that want to just tweet out asterisks, pictures of asterisks. Like,
yeah, you saved their honor.
Buddy, we saved you. We picked you up. We nursed you. We put you right on the teat. We breastfed you. We said, hey, we will save football in the state of Michigan. And yet they want to denounce Michigan Wolverines. They want to denounce the University of Michigan. We'll never do it again. We will never do it again.
This is exactly what the scenario would be if Carolina ever won, and then NC State fans are going to be like, oh, but this and that and that. And it's like, you're the little brother. Like, there's always that little brother complex. I get it, Dylan. I have a little brother in my fandom and in real life.
You don't have to worry, Connor, because Carolina is never going to be in that position.
You're right. Never again, ever in my lifetime. You're exactly right.
No. In football. Basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Basketball.
We talked about this before the show. Best I can hope for, make the 12-team playoff, maybe host a game and win it. That's about the ceiling, ever. And you know what? Fine.
If BYU ever makes the 12-team playoff, I'm going to the first round, regardless. No matter where
I
have to be there.
Carter, North Carolina has to find a way to get Virginia off that schedule. With all these conference alignments, we got to find a way to get them off.
I'm telling you, next year, Carolina's not going to be able to handle Calandria. I'm a big Calandria guy.
It's the South's oldest rivalry. We can't take that off the schedule. We just got to man up, balls to the wall, grit your teeth, and win the game. Come on, Mac.
Carolina's the softest team in football, too. It's crazy.
Wine and cheese
back
club.
to the Civil War.
Baby blue, soft, created COVID.
Oh,
there you
no.
go. Okay, there you go.
Oh, no.
Check the lab records.
But Dylan, like, the anti-Dylan stuff is completely dead now. Yes.
Carter was holding your hand through this whole championship run.
You're right.
August to literally last night, driving home in the middle of a snowstorm, all of a sudden I'm like, hey, Dylan, man, congrats, man.
That's true. You did call me last night. You were the only one that gave me a call. I was expecting a lot more calls, and you were the only one that gave me one. So you're right there. I think part of it, we could talk about anti-Dylan. I think you might just know ball, Carter. I
was going to bring that up. This is a bad day to be a Carter doesn't know ball hater because, I mean, you look at those previews, the Michigan stuff just looks beautiful. They're going to win the title. They're going to go 12-0. They're going to go 15-0. They're going to what was I going to say? Their only two tough games in the season were going to be Penn State, Ohio State. They weren't even tough games. They won them. No, they won them. No problem. But the biggest thing was they had the chip on their shoulder. This was Deflategate 2.0. They, all of college football, everybody, the NCAA going after them, trying to find any little thing, whether it's a cheeseburger or it's scouting other teams, whatever. They went after every little thing. I mean, it was a Patriot season if I've ever seen one. It was just literally a Patriot season. And especially the way you guys win the title, too. Like, just ground and pound defense, run the football, quarterback doesn't make mistakes.
And that's the one thing, if we want to take we could talk about Michigan. I'm a fan. You were right about them. By the way, that TikTok's only going to do about 200 views once we put that out there about you being right. But what this means long term, and this is might be met with some resistance. I told you guys yesterday, the teams that are leaving the Pac-12 are the ones that should be scared for their life right now, because last night showed that they're not going to be able to hire former track stars, put them in a slot, have them run down the field, have their quarterback close their eyes, and just throw a ball up and pray for defensive pass interference. You're going to have to come to the Big Ten. You're going to have to play Big Ten football if you want to stand with the big boys. The big boys being Michigan. The big boys being Iowa. Their offense is bad, but their defense.
I think the offense is too bad at Iowa. Where it doesn't. We saw the Tennessee game.
That's fair,
it's a
but
bowl game and it's tough to decide after a bowl game. But
the point being is they're not going to be able to run this high and fly offense against a defense like Iowa, Penn State. I'll give Ohio State their flowers. I'm going to include Ohio State in this list because that defense got a lot better. But these Pac-12 teams, we talk all year, who's better, Pac-12, Big Ten. I can't sit here and say that the Big Ten's better than the Pac-12. But the Pac-12 is not going to be able to come over to the Midwest and just say, hey, we're going to keep airing it out. You guys are going to be the ones that have to adjust. Because Penix tried to do that, and we made him look like Drew Aller. We made him look like Deacon Hill.
Deacon Hill.
No, it's true. That's literally what we said before the game is Penix has not faced a defense like this. Texas is a very talented defense, but they didn't get to the quarterback. They get too cute down in Texas. They're a team that's just going to choke from now on. Like every year, they might go 12-0 next year in the SEC, and they might win the SEC. They're not winning the national championship. Sark is just a choke artist, essentially.
Yep.
I mean, that was pitiful what he did against Washington. And like I said, teams just get too cute against Washington. And what did Michigan do last night? They didn't get cute. They ran it down their throats. Dude, they had over 200 rushing yards by halftime.
I mean, that's verbatim what we said was going to happen. We put the preview videos out, and everybody was like, oh, like these clowns are hating on Washington. Nobody wants to go back and revisit these videos. We were right. It's going to be 200 views. It's going to be 2 comments. No, there's not going to be any traction on those because people don't want to admit that. But you know what? You're right. Bad day for Karter Cast doesn't know ball. Bad day for the anyone can buy a mic, anyone can start a podcast crew.
Yeah. I saw the let's start a podcast comments, and it's a bad day to be those guys.
But they won't recognize it because, you say, oh, well, why don't you check out the other videos? Oh, well, I don't care enough to check out your other videos. You guys are dumb. And it's like, okay, well, then we can't win, boys. We can't. It's just not.
Nobody go look at the Clemson season preview, and then we'll be good.
Yeah, ACC preview. To get that out. I did say Virginia would beat Carolina in the ACC preview, so I think that covers everything else in that preview.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, but like last night, like talking about it, like we knew Penix was going to have to throw 40-plus times. He ended up with 51 pass attempts. Those Michigan corners were unbelievable. Number 7 on Michigan's defense, Makari Page. He's just one example. Like, he was just making plays. There was that one, Washington was in the red zone, and he got underneath that block, almost like defied gravity and tackled Dylan Johnson. Like, it was just plays like that constantly last night by the Michigan defense. Those corners, they didn't miss a tackle in open coverage. I think I saw him one missed tackle in the first half by a Michigan corner, and that was it. It was just dominating, just a dominant performance. And I think this is a great lesson going forward, especially in title games. I think regular season, you can get by on, fun offenses and stuff. The championships are won in the line of scrimmage. It's just what it is. Like, you talk about Panthers-Broncos back in 2016. Rest in peace, the Panthers that season. But the line of scrimmage won that game. Von Miller got to Cam Newton. It was the difference. Last night, yes, Michigan ran it down their throat. I think that's 50% of the game. But the other 50% was Penix couldn't get in rhythm because that Michigan defense was just bullying. They were bullying the receivers. They were bullying that line. They were causing penalties all night long on number 73 on Washington. It was just a dominant performance by Michigan.
Yeah, and Washington's O-line, they won the best O-line award. I forget the exact name of the award, but they won that award this year. Yeah, and it's almost like Michigan, the D-line was like, all right, let's find out. Penix was constantly under pressure. Like you said, threw the ball 51 times. That's the most he's thrown all year. And once again, another point we hit home in the preview was like, hey, he's going to have to air the ball out. They're going to be trailing. He had no time. And after that injury, after he went down, I didn't think I knew he'd come back, but he wasn't the same. Like, you look at, like, when he came back from that little injury he had, it was check downs, it was quick slants, quick passes when Penix came back in.
They were already down like 17 or 14 already, right?
Exactly, but they changed it up a little bit to where it was like, all right, let's try to get this guy back in rhythm. And it was more check downs, and then he started airing it out again. But if you look at yards per attempt, Michigan was at 7. Washington wasn't even at 5 if you're looking at yards per attempt. So shout out McCarthy, I guess, for airing it out, or I guess the little slant routes. Last thing I wanted to say.
Go ahead.
When Penix throws the ball, some of those times, like when he like throws it like in one of those huge deep balls and the camera doesn't get it all the way, it just feels like it's going incomplete. And then all of a sudden a receiver comes out of nowhere and he's like trying to make a play on it.
Oh,
like, I don't know. Some of those Penix deep balls, I was like, where the hell are they going?
I feel the complete opposite. If you're like say you're cheering for Michigan, like Dylan or me for my, financial investment, but I thought every Penix deep ball is like touchdown.
Really?
You the receiver. Yes. Every time that deep ball goes up, he's like Curry shooting a 3. You're like, oh, that's in. Touchdown. Oh, that's touchdown. Like Mahomes throwing a deep ball. Not as much this year because the receivers are so bad, but like last year, Mahomes throws a deep ball. You're like, oh, touchdown every time.
Yeah, or when Tyreek was there, it's like, oh, he's down there somewhere.
Yeah, he's just down there somewhere. That was the thing I wanted to bring up before we started. I want there to be an alternate broadcast on these championship games, or even just regular football games. I want to see the 2K view. I want to see behind the quarterback. I want to see what the quarterback can see.
Didn't they have the sky cam last night?
They may have. There was like 17 broadcasts.
Breaking news.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Titans fired head coach Mike Vrabel.
No, they didn't.
Oh, wow.
No, they didn't.
This is a somber moment. Come on down to Charlotte. Let me show you around Charlotte.
Time out. Did Dylan get ball sacked?
I can't even be happy. I can't even celebrate a national championship.
Schefter. It happened. Holy crap.
You can't even get one day, Dylan. Not even one day.
You can't even get 24 hours, Dylan. You got 12. A fun 12 hours, though. That was fun.
Hey, Mike Vrabel, come on down to Charlotte. Let me show you around Bank of America Stadium. Let me show you around the local trade center there. Spectrum Center. It's nice down there. Trade Street.
Is he going to the Patriots? He's going to the Patriots.
If Belichick leaves out, that would be a
Kraft
prime time
give
replacement.
Him so much money to go to the Patriots. What?
Well, I gotta
sneaky with the Titans. This is kind of the worst season to fire your coach because there's like 12 openings. You're fighting with like 12 other teams.
Yeah, like there's not like a clear top few candidates. Like who knows who you're gonna get?
Yeah, what do the Titans have over the Panthers? Like nothing.
They got Will Levis.
Dude, I do feel bad for Titans fans. This is bad.
Yeah, blows.
Because
he's a good coach.
Derrick Henry's gone. Hopkins is probably gone. The one thing is, Dylan, let's look at the positive here. Can we look at the positive here, Dylan?
Yeah.
Now you don't have a guy that's anti-Levis.
That's true. Get everybody bought in.
That's probably a big reason why this happened. Because you need everyone bought in on that quarterback. I also think that was a big problem in Carolina. Not everybody was bought in on Bryce Young. Clearly, half the coaching staff wanted C.J. Stroud.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Is Malik Willis going to start on another team somewhere next year? Probably not. So maybe it was time for Mike Vrabel to get out of there.
Tyjae Spears can come out of his shell.
I'm sorry, Dylan.
Yeah.
Not even a day. Yeah. Not even a day.
Dylan's just speechless on here. Dylan, come on, talk.
Well, I'm mixed emotions, right? Because I wrote that article for Action Network and I said Vrabel was going to get fired. And I threw it under some Schefter tweets and everybody was like, dude, don't stop talking about the Titans. You don't know what you're talking about. Malik Willis isn't Vrabel's guy. So I'm taking a fake victory lap right now because I was right, but at what cost? I wanted Vrabel to stay.
Yeah.
All right, Dylan.
Realistically, how many coaches are going to be better than him?
Dylan,
exactly.
Can I send you a new tweet to make you feel better?
Yeah. Send it on Twitter because my phone's my phone's my camera.
I'll send it on Twitter. There you go. That should make you feel better. The day after Michigan wins the national title. The day after Michigan wins the national title.
Yes!
I'll put
Oh my gosh.
on the
This is
post-it,
an
I'll put
awful
a
day. This is an awful day to be an Ohio State fan. Awful day. This is, oh my gosh. Your coach gets fired. Vrabel, Ohio State guy, gets fired from his team. You're hosting walk-on tryouts? Oh, you just signed the top running back in the portal. You're hosting tryouts? Oh my gosh, this is awesome. That makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah. So
that's getting quote tweeted.
If you're not watching on YouTube or Spotify, Ohio State tweeted out like 40 minutes ago that they're hosting walk-on tryouts this week.
You know what? They're starting early, though.
The
season starts today. Today's the first day of the rest of your life, Ohio State. So get out there, find some scout team defense.
They are in shambles. The program has to be in shambles after last night.
That's awesome. Okay, I gotta throw this under a Schefter tweet, and then I'll be.
Anyhow, all right, Mike Vrabel gone. Anything else in football? We'll move on to NFL like now. But is there anything else in the college football national championship? I don't think there's really much.
Yeah, no, I had some notes on the game, but it doesn't really matter. The game wasn't even that exciting at the end.
Bully ball. Dylan, last thing. Who's got it better than us?
Nobody.
There we go.
Nobody.
All right, let's take a quick break and we'll go into the NFL, even though we basically already did. All right, we're back. Let's do the NFL right now. We just had our little Mike Vrabel minute. We had to take like a 15-minute break for Dylan. I mean, he had to process.
To decompress.
We have 15 minutes now. Decompress, Dylan. You got to use the bathroom. You got to, chill a little bit. Talk about the Vrabel news real quick. Vrabel fired in Tennessee.
Yeah, Vrabel out of Tennessee. I don't quite get it. Well, I do kind of get it. He made the most out of an awful lineup, an awful roster, and he really made it work. The fact that we won 6 games was alarming. But you could tell very early on in the season that Vrabel was not bought in on Levis. He wanted Willis or Tannehill to be getting those starts. Obviously, Tannehill got injured, so that's an issue. But bringing in the new GM, Carthon, you could tell they really didn't agree. So it makes sense. But he didn't do that poorly with the weapons that he was given to work with. So the big questions obviously are going to be, where does he go and who does Tennessee get? Jim Harbaugh to the Titans. That's what I'm working on.
Start the narrative.
I have a theory I thought about during the break that I wanted to wait for you for.
Okay.
Hear me out. So let's say, I know you're a big Levis guy, but Levis is going to be in an almost impossible situation next season, it feels like. The weapons
No, he's not. We have so much cap space. We have the most cap space going into next year.
Yeah, but I think that needs to go all into the offensive line. We
can draft there.
Okay, all right.
But anyway, I hear what you're saying. Keep going. Okay. I hear you.
Let's say they have a tough roster right now. Things could change,
yes.
Obviously. Let's say they're really, really bad next year. Let's say Levis has a down year. You guys are like the 2nd or 3rd pick in the draft. J.J. McCarthy's sitting right there at the 2nd or 3rd pick, and he ends up a Titan. What would you say to that?
You put me in a spot here. I don't want J.J. McCarthy being the quarterback of my NFL team.
All right, that's fair. Okay.
Good answer.
Now I trust you because J.J. McCarthy is not an NFL quarterback.
Well, he is,
no.
but not at Tennessee.
He might be going down the same routes like Stetson Bennett or something.
I would love for J.J. to go to the Jags.
Why?
Sit behind Lawrence.
Get to play him twice a year.
Oh, I see. I see where this is headed now.
All right. There we go. Dylan. The day after a guy wins you a national title, even though
I love him, great, and that's JJ won't even. JJ is going to play football at Michigan as long as he possibly can.
He should. He's going to make like $10 million NIL money.
Yep, 100%, and I can't blame him. Mm-hmm. It's the right move.
He's going to be the Armando Bacot of college football. Like he just never going to leave.
That was my next comparison. It's like, I love Bacot. Stay at Carolina as long as you want to, but you're not playing for the Hornets. I don't think I would want you backing up Mark Williams.
Armando Bacot's going to be a Greensboro Swarm player.
No, he's going to be like a Poland player. He's going to go overseas and make good money, but he's not going to be an NBA guy.
An Agua Caliente Clipper.
Dylan, I want your opinion on this. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just saying JJ is going to be channeling his inner Luca Garza. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
You like that college basketball reference, boys?
That was
There
good.
we go.
Dylan's
Got
back.
time to
Let's
get
go.
in the bag. The Vrabel news, Dylan. Does it feel like Tennessee's in kind of like a let's restart, let's tear down, let's rebuild, and Vrabel's more of a win now? He doesn't want to stick around for like a full reset, especially with a quarterback that he wasn't too high on. Like it kind of seems like with the Vrabel firing, it's like, okay, we're the Titans. This is the direction we're going in. We're just going to completely reset it. And Vrabel's not the guy for a rebuild, and he's not the guy to do that with Will Levis either.
I don't know if we're going complete rebuild. The problem is 2019 that was our best year, and we did not have our game plan has not changed much from that. It's still run first, play action. Our receiving talent was maybe a little better. We had AJ Brown, obviously, but now we have DeAndre Hopkins. The problem is going to be maybe not so much a rebuild. Like I don't know if they're going to keep that same philosophy moving forward of being run first. Obviously, Derrick Henry is probably gone, but Tyjae Spears is a fine running back. I think Will Levis is the quarterback of the future. It's just what is going to be our identity moving forward.
Let me workshop a take here. Zeke Elliott leaves Dallas. Everybody's like, oh, Tony Pollard, that's the guy. He's going to be huge in the feature role finally, 20 carries a game. He's not as good in that bell cow back role. Same thing for Tyjae Spears, it feels like. He's been great as a compliment to Derrick Henry. Here's 5 targets a game. Here's 8 carries a game. But is he going to be the guy to give you 25 carries? I don't know if he's built for that.
Let's get Hassan Haskins in there. Let's see what he's made of. All right, Michigan man. Let's get him in there. Let's work that tandem. I would be
Austin Eckler 2.0.
Honesty time. Cameras off. I think I'd rather have Donovan Edwards. I'd rather have Donovan Edwards.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
I was telling the people I was watching the game with last night, I said, you guys know, like, Donovan Edwards might be the more talented back.
Yeah, he is 100%. I agree with that.
Yeah. All right, well, that's enough on the Titans. Let's we got some playoff games to preview. We got a lot, so let's get into it. Cleveland at Houston, the 4-5 matchup, the classic afternoon. This game should be on ESPN. I don't like how it's on NBC and how the night games on Peacock, those should be flipped. This game is a Peacock game. Cleveland, Houston, that screams Peacock. The fact that Miami KC's on Peacock is a very, very disappointing aspect to Saturday's playoff games. But with that being said, Cleveland minus 2.5 in Houston, over under 44.5. Dylan, start us off here.
Yeah, kind of an ugly game. Both teams don't rush the ball inherently well. You would think the Browns, their identity is the run game. That's not even close to true. They have Flacco throw so much, I don't know how his arm is still on. I think he's had 40-plus attempts in 4 of his 5 games. 2 of the top 10 penalized offenses, and both are bottom half in third down conversion rate and red zone conversion rate. We know this Browns defense is good. They've regressed a little bit in the last couple of weeks. I'm going to go under here. I think C.J. Stroud under the big lights, first playoff game. I don't know if he's going to be able to light it up against this competent Browns defense, even if they have taken a step back. And the Browns, I think, you have Flacco, who's experienced. That goes to help Cleveland. But I'm not sure if he's going – I don't think he's going to light it up by any means. So I'm going under 44 here.
So
I like the under.
But you're saying C.J. Stroud isn't going to show up with in the bright lights. Why would you not just take the Browns there?
I don't know if the Browns can pull away. I don't know if I trust that offense to cover the 3. I think it's going to be a close game. And when you think that there's an under, you inherently think it's going to be a close game. But I just don't see I'm not confident in the Browns pulling away in this one.
No, all right, Connor.
Yeah, I'm on the Browns here because last week when the Colts and Texans played for the playoff spot, I was like, do we trust Gardner Minshew? Like, I kind of like the Texans here. Texans ended up pulling it out. I'm not sure they should have. If you look at some of the numbers, Colts outgained them by 60 yards. They had 6 more total plays than them, 5 more first downs, gashed them on the run game, 227 rush yards, over 6 yards a carry for the Colts team. Jonathan Taylor absolutely destroyed that run defense.
Yep.
I don't even know if the Texans should have won. And this is a Dylan stat. Penalty yards. They had 70 penalty yards. Don't like that, Dylan. Colts only had 14. I mean, Stroud's great. Stroud's awesome. Even as a Bryce Young guy, it sucks to see him be this good. And then our guy, struggle his first year. I'm fading him here. I like the Browns. I like Flacco. I like this defense. I like him to control the pace, the tempo of the game. For what it's worth, he was on the couch 8 weeks ago, but he's been here before. He's made a playoff run. it's not like he's never been in a playoff game. And I know Stroud, first primetime game, they beat the Colts, yada, yada, yada. This is different. Playoffs is different. I know it was win or go home, but still, this is an actual playoff game. I like the Browns here. I just trust them more. And I can't believe in 2024, I'm saying I trust Joe Flacco, but I do. He's going to have 500 yards and 2 picks, but they're going to win. So I like the Browns here.
I'll say this. I like the Browns here. I don't think I'm going to take anything straight up in this game. I like the Browns. I think the Browns win this game. I think Jerome Ford has a big game on the ground. That's the difference I think you mentioned there with the Colts game where they gave up over 200 rushing yards. I think the Browns are set up just in a perfect position to just ground and pound this Texans defense. Even though, you look at the stats throughout the season, it looks like they have a great run D, but then you go against a team like the Colts who have a good O-line and a good run game. Same thing. I think the Colts and the Browns have somewhat similar offenses. Gardner Minshew can be a little more mobile, I guess, but I think Browns win this game. But my whole thing is, this feels like we could see Joe Flacco have his Jake Delhomme moment.
Really? I was waiting on that to end the season, and it never really came.
I feel like Joe Flacco's just getting ready for his Jake Delhomme 5 picks game.
That would suck. What a great story. No, that would suck.
Yeah, I know. So I think the Browns win, but I don't have a strong opinion. I don't think I'm going to take anything straight up on either side. I don't hate the under, Dylan, because I think the Browns are going to control the clock and drain a lot of time, and their defense is just lights out. What happened last time they played? Does anybody remember?
Do they play this season?
Oh, I think the Texans beat them, didn't they?
They played this season.
Head to head. Oh, the Browns won 36-22 back on Christmas Eve. Yeah.
Joe Flacco balled. Joe Flacco balled in that game. I know. I was setting it up right there. But I like the Browns here. I think they do it two in a row against the Texans. But anything else on this game?
A quick question. Don't have to take long on it. Comeback player of the year. They don't decide that until like Pro Bowl weekend, do they?
I think they already voted.
I think they did. The votes have to be submitted, but it doesn't get announced till Super Bowl week.
So that what happens in the playoffs has no bearing.
Yes.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Just
I'm
wanted to verify
positive
that.
On every award, the playoffs have no bearing on all of it.
Okay.
I hedged anyways, so we're out.
Yeah. Tell the people what happened.
Yeah. Quick update. Oh, actually, yeah, quick story time. Just take a couple minutes on this. So I had the Flacco 250-1, yada, yada. Y'all saw the TikTok. I wake up and I'm like, I feel like I should hedge Hamlin. All of a sudden I wake up. It goes from minus 140 to minus 200. And I wake up, I'm like, oh my God. And so I'm like, I can't even barely drive. I tore my ankle up, have a walking boot on. I rush to the car. I'm like, I got to get to the border. So I drive my ass to Virginia. It's minus 250. Can't bet on awards in Virginia. So then I'm like, man, this is like multiple $100s I'm going to lose out on if I don't hedge this. So I drive 2.5 hours from Virginia to Tennessee to hedge the bet. I mean, I'm sitting in a random Food Lion parking lot in BFE, Tennessee. I mean, we're talking the sticks. Like, there's probably like moonshine being made next door, probably Deliverance, the movie Deliverance. Like, it's the same setting as that. There's Mountain Man. There's probably a banjo playing somewhere behind me.
Weirdly, a Chinese restaurant next to that Food Line.
It's always Food Line, Chinese restaurant, H&R Block, just the big three. And so I pull in there, I hedge it. So I think it was minus 250 when I took Hamlin. So I lost out on a few $100s. But you know what? I guarantee myself like 650, I think it was. So we made some profit, and I think they're going to give it to Hamlin. So I think it was the right move.
Yeah, I think we figured that out that day. I think we did.
I mean, the odds went from minus 140. Now they're like minus 400 on some books. So
did we move the line? Some are saying we moved the line.
None of that. We don't have to talk about Joe Flacco announcing he wasn't going to play Week 18. None of that. It was us that moved the line.
Yeah, I think it might have been us that moved the line. Let's move on. Let's talk about Dolphins, Chiefs. Chiefs at home, -4, over under 44. Game's supposed. I think the high for on Saturday in Kansas City is like 1 degree, 0 degrees, something like that. So Dolphins playing in the cold. Dylan, I know you've been backing the Dolphins quite often this season. What are we thinking here against Kansas City?
Yeah, so you don't need me to talk about these offenses, even though Kansas City's had so many drop issues. Their offense still is one of the top in the league. And same with Miami, right? Flashy. They're going to be getting Waddle back, and I'm blanking. There's somebody else. They're getting Mostert back, which is important. I should have remembered that because what the pick I'm going to give, I'm not going to take a side. I'm not going to take a total. keep an eye out for Mostert props. The Chiefs' run defense is in the bottom of the league, and I think Mostert could have a big day. He had 84 yards, I think, on 12 attempts when they played in Germany. If it comes out at like 70, 75, I would take over on Raheem Mostert's rushing prop. But nothing on the side. I would love to see the Dolphins win.
And a cold football game.
Lots of running.
Yeah, lots of running cold football, Connor.
What about as far as like who wins? Like, Dylan, do you think Dolphins come out, or do you think Chiefs, they're -4, but like who do you think just moves on?
I would have to say Chiefs.
This is like a battle of
Dolphins to win.
This is like a battle of who you trust the least. It's like, oh, that ex-girlfriend from 6 years ago that cheated on you a few times. It's like, oh, or this new flame that has a bad reputation, but I can't really trust her either. What do you do? It's like, you choose the best of the worst. I don't know what to do here.
So which one's like the good-looking girlfriend and which one's the nice personality girlfriend? I think
the Chiefs are nice personality.
Chiefs are nice personality. Yep. Yeah. Okay. I'm going Chiefs.
There was some good qualities to you. Like, we had some good years together, some good times. Like, I'm very nostalgic about our time together. But the Dolphins post a bikini pic, and you're like, oh man, Tua's, look at his yards per attempt. No. Tyreek, look at his stats. It's like, I don't know what to do here.
I think it's clear here. I think it's clear. It's Chiefs. It's all Chiefs in this game. I mean, the game's in Arrowhead. It's going to be 0 degrees. Dolphins playing in the cold. Dolphins have looked so bad. They just look so bad against good teams. The only team they actually came out for was the Cowboys game. And you look at that Dolphins-Chiefs game back in Germany, the Chiefs just let off the gas in the second half. They dominated them in the first half. I think they won. They were up 21-0 at halftime. I think the game finished like 21-14 if I remember correctly. Chiefs were dominating them. This Chiefs team is better. I know you talked about the drops, whatever. I don't care about that. Chiefs are going to come out for this game. They're ready. They're rested for this game. I think that's the other key point is none of their starters played against the Chargers. So they have another week of rest. They get to play at home. I think this Dolphins team's falling apart, and I don't think it's their fault. I think these injuries on the defensive side of the ball are going to catch up with them. Talking about Bradley Chubb being out. Who's the other safety?
Jalen Phillips.
Xavier
Howard.
Xavier Howard.
Yeah, that's it. Xavier Howard. He's out. I'm pretty sure he's out too for this game. That stuff matters. That stuff matters.
Well, that's the
especially
thing.
Going against Mahomes. I think Mahomes is going to have plenty of time to throw. Pacheco going to have a big game on the ground. I think Chiefs win easy in this one.
Yeah. I mean, until I'm proven wrong, I know regular season Chiefs looked like a shell of themselves a lot of the year. Kelsey looked a step slow. But I'm going to give Patrick Mahomes the benefit of the doubt in the playoffs until further notice. They just won the Super Bowl. Like, I know they didn't look good this year. I know his weapons are very questionable, drops. I'm giving Mahomes the benefit of the doubt. And you said it, the Dolphins lost both their edges, Chubb and Jalen Phillips, done for the year. I think Pacheco does have a good game. He runs like he's mad at the world. And so you got like 34-year-old Melvin Ingram out there in coverage. I heard somebody talking about it. That's not going to work. And you can't set the edge with your guys. I like the Chiefs here too to move on. I'm not necessarily in love with the -4, but I think the Chiefs do win this game. And last question, are we going to say the F word for the Dolphins if they lose this game? Are we just going to put a bow on the season and say the F word? All right.
Absolutely, we should.
Fraud. The word's fraud for all you listeners out there. Don't want to get us in any hot water.
Yeah, absolutely. They would be frauds if they don't win. This is when you got to win the game. This is it right now. This is when you prove that, hey, we're a legit team. We're one of the best. You got to win in Arrowhead. The Bengals have done it time and time again. The Bills have even done it. The Chiefs, the Dolphins have won one good game this year. It was the Cowboys game. That was it. That was literally it. Every other game really wasn't impressive at all this season for the Dolphins. So I'm taking Chiefs. I even like the -4. Give me the Chiefs by 4. I think the Chiefs could win this game by a lot. I won't say the double D word again because I don't want to jinx them again. It worked in the national title game. So give me the Chiefs by a lot in this game. I want to bring up the scenario real quick.
The Chiefs and the Peacock Palooza. That's what we're dubbing it. Peacock Palooza.
Oh, yeah. They're probably signing a backdoor deal with Taylor Swift and Peacock for her next movie. There's something going on. Who knows?
They're taking a big swing. This is how you get subs. Sorry, go ahead.
I want to bring this up, though. Let's say KC and Buffalo win. The game's going to be KC-Buffalo in Buffalo, I believe, because Buffalo's got the 2 seed, correct? So, therefore, I love Buffalo in that matchup. I know I talk about how much I love the Chiefs. I love Mahomes in the playoffs. I love Buffalo if that ends up being the game.
I agree. It's time to shake off all the scaries, get the ghosts out of there. It's time to overcome that monkey on their back almost.
It really feels like we're going to see Ravens-Bills in the AFC title game, doesn't it?
That would be awesome. Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome.
I would honestly be fine either way. I'd be fine either winner. But yeah, moving on. Speaking of the Bills, they're -10 at home against the Steelers. Over under 36.5. Dylan, I know you have a take on this game.
Yes, Bills offense. You don't need me to say anything about them. But the offenses are obviously mismatched here. The Bills are a lot better. The Steelers, I'm assuming, are going to stick with Rudolph, and he's looked not bad in the 3 games he's played.
Maybe better than Pickett.
People are asking, right? But still, Bills offense is so much better. You look at the defense. Pittsburgh has an advantage in the red zone. And I think that is going to benefit them greatly. Both bottom third in scoring percentage allowed in terms of lowest. What it comes down to, I've said it before, the Bills are 0-6 against the spread in their last 6 games as a double-digit favorite. If you can get Steelers at +10, which I think is what it is right now, I would take the Steelers, right? This is a playoff game. You can say what you want about the Steelers, but they're finding a way to win games. I don't think they've gotten blown out since Rudolph has taken over. They beat the Bengals. They had that close one, albeit Ravens were playing backups. It was bad weather. Last week, I can't remember what they did in the middle.
Colts.
In between
Colts was a blowout.
Colts was a blowout.
Who was that? I think that was Trubisky though.
I can't remember.
They made a switch in the middle of one of those games.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Trubisky played against the Colts, but keep going.
Yeah. So I like the Steelers here to keep it close. I like big dogs in the playoffs. I don't think that the Bills run away with this. They haven't really done it this year as a double-digit favorite. They haven't destroyed a team. You look at Patriots and you look at Chargers, 6-2. So I like the Steelers.
I agree with that. I kind of lean Steelers here too. We talked about this before we started recording. I like double-digit dogs in playoffs. We talked about Skylar Thompson last year. He was like a 14.5-point underdog, and they almost won
triple
that
Ds
game outright. Yeah,
double-digit dogs, triple Ds.
But the other thing is, 2 things. One thing here, Dylan. Buffalo's playing at 1:00. It's not a. Is it? I mean, playoffs are always prime time standalone games, but Josh Allen gets to play at 1:00 this week.
Let's not forget that we workshopped that at the beginning of the year, and he had like 3 interceptions last Sunday night. So Josh Allen is the new Kirk Cousins in terms of primetime, but you know how I feel about primetime. Any standalone game is primetime. Okay. London, primetime. Germany, primetime.
Had to make sure on that one.
I think that's fair.
The other thing I want to say is this is going to be a fake snow game. We're going to get the reports from Schefter and all these other people saying, oh, it's snowing 15 inches Saturday here in Buffalo. Like, we're getting a snow game tomorrow. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to turn on my TV at 1:00 Eastern time. And all of a sudden, it's just going to be people breathing out cold air out of their helmets. There's no snow on the field. You're going to see people bundled up in the stands, but you're not going to see any actual snow.
And we get a frozen tundra in Foxborough last week, and no one hears a peep about it. No one heard a peep about that.
Not one. I didn't hear one report being like, by the way, it's pissing snow. There's a blizzard in Foxborough. Take the under, which you should have taken the under anyways in that game. It's a Jets.
What was it, like 29?
Even if it was a nice summer day and it's 80 degrees, that game was still going under 29 points just because how bad those offenses are. So,
yeah.
But, yeah, that's the thing. This is going to be a fake snow game, guaranteed. Just want to put that prediction out there.
Guys, I'm zagging here. I took the Bills at 8.5. It opened at 7.5, shot up to 10 almost immediately. I will die on this is going to be my Joe Schmo square take of the podcast. Like, Joe Sixpack, hey, just got home. No way Mason Rudolph's beating the Bills. Like, I'm going to bet him no matter what. I don't care. I'm doing it. I won't trust Mason Rudolph. I won't do it. I don't care if it's 10. I don't care if it's 14. I'm not going to do it. And this is coming from somebody that bet on Skylar Thompson last year. But I've seen this Mason Rudolph before. Isn't TJ Watt out? I don't even think he's playing. Yeah, so he's out. That's a big blow for the defense. I don't know if it's worth as many points as the spread indicates, but that's a big loss for that defense. I think there's a chance the Bills could run away with this. Now, if I don't think the Steelers are going to roll over early, but if they go up 10, 13 points, these Steelers have been mediocre at best all season long, and I'm not going to stop fading them now. And I might have to eat my words, but
Connor,
I'm taking them.
You don't have to convince me twice. I'll put the Bills in a teaser. There, Connor, that's all you have to say.
There you go. 6-point teaser, 7-point teaser. Get the Bills down to 3. There you go.
We'll do like a special 10-point or a 13-point teaser, but get the Bills at +3. Like, what?
Oh my gosh,
they're not.
Let's just tease every game. Just tease all
That's what I'm
6
saying.
games plus 17-point teaser. Is that even allowed?
I'll do a 13-point teaser. Tell me how this doesn't hit. You get Bills +3. You get Rams +16.5. You get, I don't like Packers
Eagles,
plus
Bucs
20.5.
under 60.
Cowboys can blow out teams. Under 57.5 and Texans Browns.
You're
And then
speaking
you
my
get
language.
You get Chiefs +9. Like, this is looking great.
I don't think I'd touch that Dolphins Chiefs game with a teaser, to be honest.
I think I would.
Anyways, I like the Bills here. As much as they've been very shaky over the last few weeks, squeaking out these wins, I'm taking them.
All right. I'm going Steelers. Dylan Steelers. Connor Bills. Let's move on. Let's go to the NFC. Packers. Cowboys. Cowboys -7.5. Over under 50.5. The 4:00 primetime Fox spot. Sunday afternoon. Dylan, talk to me about this game.
I love the idea of the Cowboys blowing out teams at home. They've done it all year, right? And there was one point in the season, I think their closest, they only had one game, I think through 7 or 8 weeks, that had been decided by one possession. I cannot get over the fact that Dallas has faltered in the playoffs the past 3 years out of my head. Like, I just can't do it. And, you have Jordan Love, not a rookie quarterback, but young guy, star in Green Bay. He's going to come out ready to play. I'm just going to watch this one and root for Jordan Love for the sake of my rookie cards. I think that's what I'm going to do.
I don't hate that. You could tell me anything happens in this game and I would believe it. If you told me Cowboys win by 20, I'd believe it. If you told me the Packers win on a game-winning field goal, I'd believe it. I think anything can happen in this game. So I don't want to take either side. I'm with you, Dylan. I think it's, you can call me scared, wuss, whatever. I agree. I don't like anything in this game.
I'm with you guys. 7.5 is too many points. I just said Bills, Steelers. I'm taking the Bills no matter what the spread is. Jordan Love's not Mason Rudolph, and Jordan Love picked it up the second half of this year. Mid-November, he really turned it around. And, Dylan, shout out Brian. They've been on the Jordan Love train. They have. And so he's picked it up. This Green Bay team.
Where am I? Why am I not getting included in this? I've been on the Jordan Love train this whole time, too.
I was about to say Karter, and then I was wondering, have you been on the Jordan Love train?
This is a joke. I've been on this Jordan Love train. Are you kidding me?
I don't know. I don't remember seeing him on there.
Go back.
Yeah, he might have bought like a ticket midway through.
Go back to our
We started in Green Bay, and we're making our way out to Salt Lake. He bought a ticket like in Billings, Montana.
No. We can go back to the NFC North preview. We talked about the Packers winning this division, and I agreed. I said,
we did.
Yep, and I had the future. I had Packers to win the division as a future too. And we have the TikTok from week 1 talking about buy all the Jordan Love stock you can.
It was something like in the NFC North preview, it was like, the Packers are going to win the division. You were saying that, but then you were like, I really think that's going to be off the backs of this amazing run game. Like Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. Like, I don't know if Jordan Love can do it, but they're going to be able to get it done on the ground. Why? Am I remembering incorrectly?
100%. That does not sound like me at all.
Oh,
I'm always in love with the quarterback. I'm so blinded by the quarterback. Michigan's the only team ever I've been like, I love the ground and pound run game and the defense. That's never been me. I've always been like, man, I love Patrick Mahomes. That's why I'm taking the Chiefs.
Can we get an over-under? If the Cowboys somehow lose this game, how quickly does McCarthy get fired? Is it even an hour? Does he even get out to the post-game presser?
He doesn't.
Yeah,
I don't even think he does. It might be minutes.
He doesn't get fired.
No, you don't think he gets fired?
He doesn't get fired.
If they lose this game, he will get fired.
No. They won the division and finished.
You're falling victim. You're falling victim to Mike
Jones.
Greenberg's. You've watched too much Get Up over the years. He's drinking the Kool-Aid. Jonestown.
If it was a normal owner, it's Jerry Jones.
Right, see, he's fake.
All that matters is playoff success. All that matters is playoff success to them. Come on.
If that's the case, then he wouldn't be here now. He wouldn't be here now if that was the case.
The other thing is, they're not. You can't get much better than the 2 seed in the NFC.
Titans just fired Mike Vrabel. He's one of the top 7 coaches in the league. You never know.
We just won 6 games.
Yeah, what do you mean?
I'm just saying, if they lose first round, do not be surprised if he's out of there. I'm telling y'all right now.
He's not getting fired. I'll go out there and say it right now.
No, he's not.
Unless they lose by 35, which won't happen. Mike McCarthy is not getting fired after this game. That is crazy. Crazy.
Okay.
You have to be able to connect the dots if they lose from the loss to it being McCarthy's fault. And I think that it is much more likely that this loss, if they do lose, is off the backs of turnovers, off the backs of specifically Dak Prescott interceptions, to where it's not going to be McCarthy's fault, in my opinion.
Let me put this out there too. We're talking about this game. We were talking about the spread, the 7.5 point spread. I still think the Cowboys win this game. I just don't want to have them by 7. I think the Cowboys win this game 24-20.
I mean, I think they win also. I think they do win, but I'm telling you guys, so you think Dak will be the fall guy. I think that's fair,
yeah.
But I'm not going to be surprised no matter what happens if they lose. There will be some kind of rash decision. It's the Cowboys.
I don't think there will be a rash decision. Maybe like the offensive coordinator, but I don't think a head coach or any of those. I don't think Dak's leaving anytime soon. Dak just had an MVP light year. Like he was in top 5
I agree.
MVP conversation. So it won't be on him. If anything, it's going to be like, hey, we need to get a better running back in here instead of Tony Pollard. Let's get in another guy.
Okay.
Other than that, they got an awesome roster.
All right, I just wanted to workshop that. It. We'll put it in the vault. But if they win, it doesn't matter. It's only if they drop this first round.
All right. Let's move on. This is the game I'm most excited about this weekend. It's Rams-Lions. Lions minus 3.5. Over under 51.5. Stafford's return to Detroit. Dylan, take us away.
I don't know. It seems like a lot of people like the Rams in this spot. I understand the storyline. You have Stafford coming back home to Detroit. Was never really able to do anything there. Goes to Los Angeles, wins the Super Bowl, whatever. I think that if the Rams want to win this game, it's going to have to be done in the air. And I don't know how that gets done necessarily. Aiden Hutchinson is going to be breathing down Matthew Stafford's throat. And Stafford has had 4, 5, 6 great games. His last 6 or 5 games, he's kept the turnovers at bay. He's lit it up, had a lot of touchdowns. The Lions' run defense is the premier part of their defense. So Kyren Williams is not going to be able to run the ball like he's been able to. It's going to be up to Stafford. What you think happens in this game depends on if you think Stafford's going to be able to throw over the Lions' defense or have time to throw, because the Lions are great at getting pressure on the quarterback. I have no play here. I would like to see the Rams win. I think this Lions team, we talked about it briefly in the middle of the season. We talked about them being potential F words. They kind of silenced that. But towards the end of the season, I guess the first Vikings game meant something, but they were playing against Mullins. I'm not completely bought in on the Lions yet. So I would like to see the Rams win.
If the Rams win this game, they're the frisky team that can, you're like, oh, maybe they'll make a run. Maybe they'll end up in the NFC title game somehow.
Yeah, if we're talking if we're talking absolute Super Bowl long shots, I don't hate the Rams. I don't know exactly what the number is, but that would be like my one long shot that's not the Ravens or the Niners, would be the Rams.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. The 3.5 is a little weird. It makes me just want to take the Rams so bad right here in this spot. This is going to be, I'm going to take Puka Nacua anytime touchdown in this game. That's just what's going to happen. And I'm going to watch the game and have fun. I'm going to take Puka anytime touchdown. But let's talk about a winner in this game rather than the spread. Connor, unless you have a spread pick in this game.
Well, I was going to say I jumped on the Rams as soon as the 3.5 came out, but now all of a sudden, all I see is every single person on Twitter, social media, on Action even, it's like, we're taking the Rams. And God forbid when that happens, a lot of the times the other team wins. And this just seems like one of those games where it's either going to be a game-winning field goal or it's going to be, oh my God, the line has just tied the game with 30 seconds left. Dan Campbell's going for 2 again because that's what he does to send this team to the next round. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a blowout either way. Like, I think it is going to be like a 2-3 point win, or it'll come down to a Dan Campbell coaching call. And guess what? He's going for 2 no matter what. He showed that against the Cowboys. 7-yard line, 20-yard line, the 50-yard line. He's going for 2 because that's just his philosophy and who he is. And he won't stray away from that. And I don't think it's going to change in the playoffs. So I think some kind of weird late score and a Dan Campbell decision will decide this game. I could really see that scenario.
I do want it noted how the Lions did get blatantly screwed in that game. Like, the guys
did they? The more I read about it, though, it was like, all right, let's run this trick play that we reported 4 hours ago, and this guy's going to fake report, and this guy's going to report, and somebody said it was an illegal formation anyways. I don't know who to believe about that.
No, dude, you're just drinking the ESPN Kool-Aid. He's drinking the ESPN
Here we go.
Kool-Aid. He's all indoctrinated. I think you're just going to end up in Bristol. You're just going to move back to Bristol, aren't you, Connor?
I need what's it called? Like in all the scary movies, like the Pope. I need an exorcism from ESPN.
Exorcism.
I need an exorcism. You just need to bring me to Jesus and be like, Connor, the Cowboys don't need to be talked about every day. The Lakers aren't good. It's like, all right, fine. It's like, are you sure Dak Prescott's not MVP? Yeah, okay.
Connor, no more MJ LeBron debates. You have to stop. It's over. Just stop. All right. But talking about the not the spread part of this game, who wins this game, Dylan?
Rams.
Why?
I think I do trust Stafford to get it done. I know I kind of just refuted that. It was kind of for the sake of argument, but Stafford has looked great the last 5 games. He's kind of channeled it back in 2013, 2017, 18. He's looking good. And I think that this Lions team is a bit F-wordy, and I think the Rams could get it done. Between everybody, we get to it later, Rams 50-1 to win the Super Bowl, not bad. Stafford's going to get to play indoors the whole way.
Yeah, I like that.
That's exactly what I thought.
Rams 51, add that to my card. Connor, who wins this game?
I like the Rams here. You know, we talked about the Lions all year as being a defense we can't wait to fade in the playoffs. And yes, their run defense is very respectable as far as like Kyren Williams is going to gash them for 150 yards. But Stafford's healthy. There was all that talk about Stafford's washed. His elbow was hurt. He had a serious elbow injury. All of a sudden, he's back. He's airing it downfield. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, even Higbee, Tutu Atwell, Demarcus Robinson had a resurgence towards the end of the year. Like, they have the weapons on the outside to throw the ball in this Lions defense. It just seems like, Dylan, you're on the right track as far as the Lions being a little fraudish. So I like Stafford to spoil the Lions' playoff hopes and win in the return to Detroit.
I think the Rams win this game too, and I hate to jinx the Rams. Lions fans are going to love this TikTok, but I like the Rams here. I for everything you guys mentioned, I like Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp to have a big game in the air. I don't want this to be understated. Like, these teams have rest. They got an extra week of rest. Like, Puka was the only one that played, and he only played to get that record. So, the Lions, they played their starters for no reason last week. For no reason.
No reason.
And Laporta got hurt in the game. Like, and one of their defensive players got hurt in the game. So, they started their starters for no reason. I like the Rams here. I think that extra week of rest is going to help a lot, especially for Stafford, Cooper Kupp as well. Puka Nacua is going to have a big, big day in the air. I think Rams win this game. I think it's gonna be a shootout. I think it's gonna be like 34-31 Rams.
I like it.
I don't hate it.
All right, there we go. All right, crazy. That's the Sunday night football game. Like, the Detroit Lions get the Sunday night NBC game. Like, good for them.
And what a terrible situation. Like, Lions fans, Stafford's beloved in that city, and like, you know, he's their prodigal son almost, and he's gonna have to come in and just knife him. He's gonna have to come in and knife him in the back. And also, underrated component. Last thing. McVay knows all Jared Goff's little like things. Like, McVay knows how to get to Jared Goff. He literally went under the hood with Jared Goff, got Jared Goff to lead a team to the Super Bowl. He knows him in and out. So, like, I don't think that can be understated either. If there's a late game situation, he's going to know how to get pressure on him.
I think that's true. Also, I'll paint this scenario. It's 2 minutes left. Lions are down by 5. Jared Goff has got to score a touchdown. Do you guys believe in him?
Pick, interception. No. I will live bet interception instantly.
Yeah, it seems like he's going to just throw a pick, and I don't see him making that play, driving them down the field like that. Let's move on. Last game, Philadelphia, Tampa Bay. Games in Tampa. Philly -3, over under 43.5. Dylan, you were calling out the Eagles early on this year when they were 10-1. You're like, guys, like the numbers aren't adding up here. This Philly team, they're going to regress. They've regressed heavily. I think even more than you expected. Yep. Talk to me about this game.
Yeah, I went on record saying that I didn't think they were as bad as the 2020 Steelers, 2022 Vikings. It is that kind of situation we're staring down the barrel of for Philadelphia. Now, the problem is, well, Dylan was right. I'm not going to say start the hashtag, but if you want to start the hashtag, I wouldn't be upset. Dylan was right about the Eagles. Now, to top it off, to put the cherry on top of the pie, to put the icing on the cake, I have to perfectly time the Philadelphia Eagles playoff exit. I have to pick my spots and choose when they're going to be out of this. So Tampa Bay can't run the ball. Haven't ran the ball all year. They're going to have to get it done in the air. And Philadelphia, their defense has looked not great. Both good in third down percentage, conversion percentage. Philadelphia much more efficient in the red zone, but obviously that's a little bit skewed because they run a play, which is good for them. I don't say it should be banned, but great. They have a play that's pretty much a guaranteed touchdown if they get on the 2-yard line or less. Tampa Bay's rush defense is a little bit better than Philadelphia's. Tampa Bay's blitzing at a high rate, but not creating a whole lot of pressure, which worries me a little bit. Both top 10 in third down percentage allowed. I think the difference here, Philadelphia's defense. They have the third worst red zone percentage in terms of touchdowns allowed when in the red zone on defense. I think Tampa Bay wins. I think they beat the Eagles. I think they knock them out first round. And I know that's tough to say, but Baker hasn't looked that bad. He got a little banged up last week against the Panthers.
He looked a little bad against the Panthers.
But the Panthers defense, though, I've said it since last year, it's not a bad unit, right? So I'm going to give them a little bit of credit there. I think the Buccaneers knock off the Eagles in the wild card round.
So you're calling your shot. You're picking your spot here, Dylan. This is the spot. First round. All right.
First round, yep. And if not, oh my gosh, they're going to get demolished by the 49ers.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think they win this game. I think they beat the Buccaneers. I don't believe in Baker in the playoffs right now. Give me the Eagles -3. I know it's square. We all have to have one square pick in this episode, and I think the Eagles get it done in Tampa. What?
Me? What was my square pick?
I said you need kind of the Rams. I think the Rams were a square pick.
Yeah, that's probably square.
Yeah,
that's square.
I agree.
Yeah, but anyhow, I love the Eagles here. I'm taking the Eagles -3. I'm falling into the trap. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna say I don't think the Eagles win pretty. I think this is an ugly game. It feels like it's gonna be raining for no reason in Tampa, and Eagles just get it done somehow, barely, and then the Niners just destroy all their hopes. And they're gonna play San Fran because I guess if the Eagles win, if we think the Rams are gonna win, then they're gonna play the Niners, correct?
In the NFC Championship.
No. It's the lowest seed plays the one.
Oh, that's how that works?
Yes.
Well, then I'd take back everything about the Rams. I don't think they're going to I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
If the Packers win, they get to
This is tricky. Schefter's being tricky because he put this out like a bracket. That's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, because the lowest seed plays the one.
Tricky, Shefty.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, well. So the Packers win.
So the Packers win, yeah.
I'll close it off on this game. I'm not taking a side. This is going to be the classic 17-13 final score. Just take the under. I'm begging you. Anything above 40, take the under. These teams met back in September, and the Eagles won 26-11, and they're limping into the playoffs right now. A.J. Brown injury, Jalen Hurts injury, Devonta Smith injury. Baker's also a little banged up. I don't trust either of these offenses to really get it going, guys.
But
I'll be honest. I'm on the under
defense? Here. Do you trust the Eagles' defense?
It's not necessarily me trusting the Eagles' defense. It's me not believing in Baker to perform in the first round of the playoffs on the road.
I'm going to talk myself into the Bucs out of nowhere because I like Mike Evans to have a game against this Eagles defense.
Yep. I still don't think it gets over. I love the under here. That's my one pick.
All right.
Have we seen a team as heralded as the Eagles limp into the postseason like this? Like, this is one of the worst, like, all-time wheels falling off the situation going into the playoffs that I've ever seen. I can't think of another one. I mean, I guess the Chiefs this year, but
yeah, but the Chiefs won those last two games.
I mean, this is legitimately like stars getting injured, no faith in the defense. Matt Patricia is a complete bonehead. Like, what do you feel good about if you're an Eagles fan?
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. Just very bleak.
Now, I don't think it happens, but Sirianni's job is going to get called. They're going to want him fired if he loses this game to Tampa.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the way they ended the year, yeah, the narrative's there.
Now
they've already got people outside the stadium talking about run the ball.
Yeah. I don't think they should fire him. I think that's crazy. If you have a freaking 11-win team, don't fire your coach. But Do you believe in Sirianni?
They hired Big Dom on the sideline.
That's another thing. I'm tired of seeing people are big Dom suspension. The Eagles have been bad. Like, shut up. No one gives an F about Big Dom. Just shut the hell up about Big Dom.
Yeah, he's not influencing game results.
It's all a gimmick. It's a gimmick, and that's what Philadelphia has to lean on right now. That's all they have.
A funny gimmick is the Pop-Tart Bowl. The Big Dom is not funny. It's so forced.
Assault is funny now. That's kind of where I'm getting at. It's like
that's what I'm.
Cannibalism's funny. Karter, Pop-Tart Bowl, really?
Oh wow!
No, don't go there. That's Connor's being so insensitive. Connor, who wins this game?
I'm taking the Eagles. I think the Eagles move on. I don't think it's pretty. I don't think they feel good about it. Give me the Eagles.
I'm taking the Eagles too. I think the Eagles win 2017. Dylan.
I think the Bucs win. Buccaneers.
All right, there we go.
If we're doing scores, I want 17-13 Eagles. I think it's going to be disgusting.
All right. Real quick, let's cook up a parlay. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be spread totals. It can be props. I don't care. Cook up a parlay real quick. I'll start off. I'm going Puka Nacua anytime touchdown against the Lions.
Oh, so we're getting that'll be plus odds, right?
Yeah, that'll be like plus 140, right? Right?
I think so.
I would think so.
All right, Dylan, what's your pick?
Steelers plus 10.
Oh, okay. All right.
Were you going to go Bills? I have another one.
No.
We can go another one. We can make this as juicy as we want. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. And then I want the Eagles Bucs under 44.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I'm seeing 43.5.
Give me 43.5 then. That's fine.
Okay. All right. And then I'm going Puka anytime. Do we want to add some more plays to it?
I'm good. I'm good with 3.
No.
We got to see one go through.
Yeah, but this isn't last year.
All right, our playoff parlay, wild card weekend. Puka Nacua, anytime touchdown. Eagles, Bucs, under 43.5. Steelers, plus 10. This feels like a winner. Anything else before we go?
Do we want to do Super Bowl winners real quick?
Yes, we do. Let's do Super Bowl matchups and winner. How about that?
Ooh, okay.
So you call what the Super Bowl is going to be, and you say who wins it. And
are we talking like good odds, or it's just like really what we think?
We can do. I think our long shot pick would be the Rams still, right?
They got to beat the Niners eventually. If they're going to
mine would be the Rams. My divisional matchup, mine would be the Rams.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. If you're the Niners, I think the Rams are the last team you want to play in that first round.
Yeah, I agree.
So I would go Rams 50-1. I wouldn't go. I really don't think anybody else. Right? I mean, I can look.
It's not a long shot. Chiefs at 10-1. Patrick Mahomes at 10-1 to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, I will take that.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Like the Texans are 40-1. I think the Rams should be above the Texans for playoff odds, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna have to play the Ravens if they win. So
I think the extreme long shot would be Rams Chiefs in the Super Bowl. It's like, oh, Mahomes, everybody doubted him. It's like, oh, Stafford was here 2 years ago. Like, look at these seasoned vets. Like, oh, everybody doubted the Chiefs. Travis Kelce is back.
But let's genuinely do it. Who do you think it's going to be? So, who do you think is going to be in the Super Bowl and give us a Super Bowl winner? Dylan, start us off.
Bills Rams. Bills win.
Bills Rams.
Bills Rams.
That kind of feels like a Vegas Super Bowl. Connor.
I'm going straight chalk. Give me Ravens Niners. Niners win the Super Bowl this year.
A repeat of 2013. All right.
Hardball. Give me the square. Keep laughing, Dylan.
I said it before the season, and I'm going to stick with it. Give me Niners Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and I think the Niners win the Super Bowl.
There you have it.
Chiefs. That's a good one.
Yep. I think Christian McCaffrey wins Super Bowl MVP. Give me the Niners.
Well, I think it'd be Brock Purdy actually, because if you look at the yards per attempt, he's clearly the best player on that team.
Who are you trying to imitate, Connor? Who are you trying
Nobody.
to imitate?
Nobody.
That's interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. All right, that's it from us. We got to get out of here. We went over time. So thank you so much for listening. Subscribe at CarterCast on all social media, at Wilkerson A. Dillon, at Connor_Sparrow, at Karter VA. Subscribe. Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, wherever you're listening. Subscribe. We'll be back. We'll be back for an NBA pod later this week on Friday. That'll be up Friday. Make sure to tune into that as well. Before we go Blue one last time. Us Michigan men did it, Dylan. We did it.
Go Blue. We did it. Go Blue.
Champions.
Who has it better than us?
Nobody. All right,
Go.
we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.